Hey guys, welcome back to another Jewish Crash Out. I'm Jack the Jew, and on this one, we're going to be looking at Nima Alkhorshid. We've seen him before. I don't know if he's declared himself Shiite. He was born in Iran, and he lives, I think, in South America or Brazil or something like that. But why I'm covering this is because America and Iran are back at it again. Yay, because this needs to be taken care of. These people, these Islamic extremists, really need to be taken care of. And yay, so we're back. And I just wanted to see these people's reaction. He is part of Dialogue Works. It's its own thing. It's Nima's thing. He actually started it in 2022, which is interesting, like a year before 2023, and has over, oh, no, not over, close to 500,000 subscribers. So people watch him. Even this one was put out a few, like a day ago or 14 hours ago. And why am I going so low? Almost has 100,000 views. So there's a lot of people watching this. And let's see what their perspective on the war kind of starting up again.
Let me start with what we've heard from the Iranian supreme leader, Ayatollah Seyed Mujtaba Khamenei. He just
Also known as the Gayatollah,
moments ago, he had a new statement.
who still hasn't been seen and didn't come to his father's funeral. Weird, and it was 5 days long, which is not very what like God wants with the whole Moses. Anyways, I won't get into that, but they had a weeks long thing with this guy's funeral, and yeah, and the guy never showed up for 5 days of the actual funeral.
It says that we pledge to avenge the blood of the martyred leader and all martyrs of these two wars from the
Sure.
criminals. These criminals will bury their desire for a peaceful death in their bed. Here, many
Okay.
people are arguing
Nice words.
that Iran is trying to assassinate Donald Trump. Even Donald Trump
Yep.
himself came out with a tweet saying that 1,000 missiles are already locked and loaded to be and aimed at the Islamic Republic of Iran, with thousands more to immediately follow. This is the atmosphere. When it comes to Donald Trump and when it comes to the revenge, and we know the people in Iran were so much, they're angry. You see the flags in the funeral procession, and the people don't want, they want to fight back.
Several of the banners say literally "kill Trump," but okay.
They want to seek something. What is that thing?
They want to. What is that thing? The death of Trump.
Is that the way that they're, because when you translate Persian to English, there has to be some sort, in my opinion, some sort
The banners were in English. They literally spell out "kill Trump."
of misunderstanding. What is that?
Oh, it's not a
What is the
misunderstanding.
meaning of the new statement of the supreme leader of Iran?
Well, first of all, as we've been discussing together before the show, for us in Islam and in particular Shia Islam, justice is very important. It is key. And that is really the context in which resistance to the oppressor and support for the oppressed and the disenfranchised,
Blah, blah,
that's where it
blah.
comes from. So when Iran supports
We're not going to watch this whole thing. It's an hour long,
supports
but
Cuba
just wanted
or
to get some of
supports
it.
Nicaragua or Venezuela or South Africa under apartheid, the resistance
Yeah, the resistance was all behind fighting for
there.
that. Yeah, didn't you know the Iranians were in South Africa helping the Africans fight for freedom? I remember that totally.
Or when it supports the Palestinian cause, uh, it is based
It supported the Palestinian cause a lot more than fighting apartheid in South Africa.
on that sense of justice, and that justice is not something that you can compromise. You're both locally and internationally, at the local level, at the international level, it's ideological, and so there's no way you can
Okay,
shy
yeah.
away from this concept.
Yeah, it's Shiite ideological. It's they I mean, again, what was there justice for the Syrian Sunnis that Hezbollah killed in mass up to 500,000? I mean, give me a break. What justice are you talking about?
Therefore, for the Iranians, Trump is obviously a war criminal, and so is Netanyahu, and so is his entire entourage, and so is the Israeli regime from top to bottom.
Israeli children are prime targets, according to you people, because they're possible future IDF soldiers. So, gotta kill the children.
These people have carried out crimes against humanity, whether it's the person who pressed the button to slaughter the 168 little kids in Minab, or whether it was...
You know that's the only thing that they can point to during the war that went wrong and they killed schoolgirls. And again, that school was on a campus of the IRGC. The entire base was IRGC, and part of it was split off as a school. Weird how that is. That's weird. Why would they do that? I don't know of any other schools that are near military bases in the West or in Israel or in anywhere. And again, so they point to this one thing, and that shows you that the U.S. did an amazing job. If this is the one thing they can... If there were others, they would have brought them up.
The officer who coordinated the strikes...
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
They've been apologists for the genocide for almost 3 years now.
Again, no genocide.
So diplomats, they are like Nazi diplomats. Western diplomats, any
Nazi diplomats
you see anywhere in the world, those diplomats inside, whether they're Norwegian or they're German or British or Canadian or Australian, they're Nazis. They're Nazi diplomats.
Hilarious.
Again, some people.
Yeah, you guys are the Nazis, and you call other people Nazis. Anyways.
The British
Nazis, more Nazis.
Also, that sort of mentality is clear. Go ask any Indian who knows a thing or two about their history. And I mean, when I mean India, I mean the Indian.
Yeah, the British weren't too great there.
Subcontinent, the entire subcontinent. It's just not. It's not simply.
They weren't too good in Palestine either. So I got issues with the British.
So, for the Iranians, there has to be justice. So for all American leaders and the Israeli leaders and those who supported them, the Nuremberg trials are essential.
Oh, right,
so
totally.
Clear as day. Now, some may say, well, they may not be able to set up such trials. In any case, that's another issue altogether. The point is that this is about justice, and that these people have slaughtered.
The ridiculousness of Iran saying that they're fighting for justice is hilarious.
They've carried out.
It's literally a joke.
Wars. The Western media has tried to justify it, and Iran is not going to allow the United States or its allies to get away with it. So they're saying that these people must be punished for their actions. So now the Iranian state has not been assigned to do anything in particular. But that is the mentality.
If you're telling me the IRGC isn't trying to put up terrorist cells in Europe and in America, you're lying.
Across the country, we've seen in Mashhad, in Tehran, and Qom, and in Iraq, and Karbala, and Najaf, the slogans were clear.
Yeah,
so
kill Trump.
Bloodlust.
Oh, no, it's not at all.
Raid.
Who even does that? Like, at a funeral, why would you have, like, let's say your family got murdered. Yep, let's just go with that. An extreme version. Your family got murdered. Would you go to the funeral? I mean, maybe you would have signs, justice for my family or something like that. But you wouldn't have, even if you felt it, you wouldn't have banners, kill, like, for instance, Erica Kirk. I don't see her at Charlie Kirk's funeral. I think it was publicized, but my guess is at the memorial, at all the Charlie Kirk memorial stuff, you didn't see anything that said "Kill Tyler Robinson." They, on the other hand, are bloodlustful and they are a death cult, so they do want death to continue.
Not at all. In fact, I think by now many people criticize Iran for being too patient, and which I don't agree with. But the Iranians are very patient when it comes to dealing with their.
Yeah, very very patient with the 4 vessels that they shot at in the Straits of Hormuz. Yeah, they're extremely. They're the most patient people ever.
adversaries.
Maybe they're weak. It could be weakness.
So
I
this
don't
has
know.
nothing to do with bloodlust. This has to do with justice,
Nothing.
and it is a deterrence to make sure that this sort of thing does not happen again in the future. We live in a world where the West, for centuries, has gone out and destroyed country after country, and of course the U.S. empire more recently, in particular, and they slaughter, they destroy, they crush country after country, and then they walk away and they continue
Well, what did Iran do in Yemen? What did Iran do in Syria? What did Iran do in Lebanon? Oh, yeah, those countries are great. They didn't destroy those countries.
with their lives, and the people
Iraq?
in the global south, they have to live with the destruction for generations. So the Iranians are saying, no, we're not going to accept that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The new sanctions,
Get ready to accept it.
the sanctions on Iranian oil sector or on the energy sector, they're back on Iran.
They're back, baby.
Professor Marandi, which is totally against the clause or the paragraph 9 of the MOU. So yesterday we had the Qatari delegations going to Tehran, talking with the officials. What is the situation right now between Iran and the United States?
Well, you and I we've discussed this numerous times. The Iranians never believed that the Americans were going to comply with the MOU.
And we didn't believe that you were going to comply with the MOU. Weird how that is.
The Americans are deceitful. They've always been deceitful. They're dishonest.
Oh, yeah. It's such projection. Yeah, no. You're right. The Iranians have never been deceitful. You're totally right. You nailed it, Mohammed. You got it.
And so the Iranians have within the context of the MOU, have enormous leverage. The Americans are virtually, I mean, they are violating every one of their commitments except for
Yeah,
one.
okay.
They not only have they returned not only have they restored the sanctions on Iranian oil and gas,
After you guys have fired on 3 vessels.
or energy exports, as you rightly pointed out, but they've added even new sanctions. That's another violation of
Great. Beautiful. Add more sanctions. Sanction the crap out of them.
the MOU. So these are 2 violations. Trump is constantly threatening to destroy Iran and kill Iranian leaders, kill negotiators. These are all violations.
Again, Iran never does that at all. For over the past 5 days, there hasn't been signs that said kill Trump, kill Trump, kill Trump, kill Bibi, kill Trump, kill Trump, kill Trump, kill Bibi. Like, it's been majority kill Trump.
Of the deal. It's in the MOU, these threats. The United States has not forced the Israeli regime to stop the slaughter in Lebanon, nor to retreat.
There is no slaughter. We are protecting our border from Hezbollah, a terrorist organization declared by the Lebanese, who they are hijacking, and the Iranians are trying to reoccupy. That's what Israel's trying to do. Unbelievable.
Another violation. The United States has not turned over Iranian assets that were stolen by the Americans.
Because you guys have not complied with your side and have done what you were supposed to do.
That was supposed to happen at the very start. They stalled and stalled, as we expected. That's another violation. So wherever you look, the Americans, at whatever aspect of it, the only thing that they haven't violated yet is the lifting of the siege. That's the only thing left. And of course, if they do that, then the Iranians are going to shut things down. And
They're going to shut things down more than they are already?
we're going to go back to a very swift energy crisis. We're swiftly going to go to the peak of the energy crisis, because the 4.5 months of shortages that have been accumulated have not gone away. And right now I don't know exactly where things stand, but the situation hasn't improved. It's
Really?
There's like excess capacity of oil and other products that are being taken and added to the market, and that the shortages are dying down. So if there's another war, if there's another siege, then it will not take 4 months to get where we are now. It'll take, it'll take weeks for us to get where we are now to a global economic collapse. We are pretty close, according to Trump himself. So
I wonder what the oil price is right now. I'm going to look at this. Oil prices, no. So the thing is still closed, and it's still at $75. $71 now. Unbelievable. So it dropped down, went slightly up. This was even before. Let's go to 1 month and 6 months. So this is the war. And it was up and down. Oh, it went down to 80 at one point. Then it went all the way. Now we're all the way down. Wow, for a few days ago, it was down to under $70. Yeah. The Straits of Hormuz has still been closed the entire time. Not a lot of stuff is really getting out of there. So I don't see where they think. No, you're wrong again.
In return, or in response to the American violations, they have huge leverage, and that is in the Persian Gulf. So what if the Americans are doing?
All Donald Trump wanted to do was lower the gas prices, and he's done that. So now it's open game on the Iranians. The Iranians are screwed, and they know it.
The Strait of Hormuz. They're carrying out another violation.
Maybe not.
They're violating Article 5. What is that? That is the Americans in Article 5, the reopening and the normalization of the Strait of Hormuz is to be carried out by the Iranians. And then
No, there's controversy on that. That doesn't exactly. It means in coordination with the Iranians, not that the Iranians get to charge tolls or anything like that. Forget you.
Later, with coordination with the Omanis, they'll plan the future of the strait. But that we'll leave that aside.
Because that wasn't even in there.
So the Iranians are supposed to normalize. So what have the Americans done? They'd opened up their own court, and they're passing ships through.
Off the coast of Oman, in the southern part of the Straits of Hormuz, yeah, they've opened up a new corridor. Guess what? Wow. And then you're not allowed to do anything because that's international waters. It's not even anywhere near Iranian waters. It's off Oman. So forget you again.
Why? Because they want to undermine Iran's leverage so that Iran has no leverage and the Americans can violate all of their commitments.
No, Schmerlock, obviously.
And the Iranians would be unable to do anything in return. So the Iranians...
That's the concept. That's why they're doing it off the coast of Oman, this new route that you guys are attacking, even though it's illegal for you guys to attack it.
They're pushing back. For weeks, the Iranians warned ships, but didn't do much about it. For a couple of weeks, they warned the Americans. They carried out...
That doesn't sound like you've opened up the Straits of Hormuz now, has it? Okay, it was supposed to be for 60 days without any tolls or anything like that. It was supposed to be just opened. And America was going with it, and you guys decided not to go with it. That's the difference.
Some light strikes, but then a few days ago, 3-4 days ago, the Iranians hit 3 ships pretty hard, or maybe more. But I know of 3 major important ships that were hit. And then the Americans were angry. Why? Why were the Americans angry? Because we know that the Americans were doing this to undermine Iran's leverage.
Does he understand that this is a war? Yeah, we were trying to do that. That's why we created this new route over Oman, to go around you guys and not have to go through the straits that you guys are talking about and the routes in the Iranian waters. These are international waters. Iran has no say in it. Oman is the only person to say, and they're letting the ships through. You people attacked Omani waters. Ships that were in Omani waters. That's what you did. But Oman is not going to attack you, so.
And so that the Americans could undermine the whole MOU and declare some sort of victory. So The Iranians are more than prepared to go to war.
You're getting what you wanted.
And they will not allow the Americans to control the Strait of Hormuz. And
it's not even the Americans, the Omanis. The elder Gulf states have every right to use the straits as international waters under international law.
Ironically, what Trump is doing is he's preventing the normalization of the oil market and the energy market And the other markets that are
Yeah, he's preventing you guys from charging a toll every single time a ship comes through.
influenced by the Persian Gulf region. Why? Because if he had carried out his obligations by now, the Iranians would have almost.
Let's see what else they have to say.
It's very interesting. The American journalists speak about right after the funeral in Iraq. They speak about how Iran's influence in Iraq is dying down. Literally after the funeral in Iraq, they could never muster 1,000th of the number of people who went to the streets and expressed such and they were with.
Because they're Shiite, you idiot. Of course they'd come out for the Ayatollah. He's their pope. Obviously they came out, and yes, there are millions. This is the issue. In Iran, 90% of the country don't want your IRGC government anymore, but 10% do. What's 10% of 90 million? 10 million! And you got the same amount, not the same amount, but you have the same kind of concept in Iraq. There are millions of Shiites that are dedicated to the IRGC. So give me a break. It's not that difficult for you guys to put together a funeral. Let's go look at the death of the Pope. I'm sure there were millions there.
Such an outpour of emotions. They could never do that in Iraq or anywhere else. So
let's go find out. I want to find out. And how many people were at the funeral? How many at the last funeral of a pope? It's going to be millions. 250,000. It's not going to be millions. My bad. And then roughly, well, maybe because they had to cut it down. How many watched around the world? Oh, there you go. John Pope the second, 2 to 4 million total. One of the largest Christian gatherings in history. So, yeah, they can do those numbers.
You know, another thing that the funerals did was it shows that, because at the beginning of the war, they were saying Iran would fall. And then when it didn't fall, they said, well, if Iran just lasts, they win. And Iran didn't just last. It didn't just survive. It hit back day and night till the end of the war. Just like it's doing now. In Western media, whenever the Americans strike, the Western media says they've destroyed all sorts of Iranian assets, but they don't say anything about.
They didn't hit the power stations. They didn't hit the bridges. They haven't struck major infrastructure, water desalination plants, anything in the country that would put a halt to the IRGC entire. It's the same thing that Clinton did in the Bosnian-Herzegovina war. He struck the bridges and the power plants.
What Iran does in return. They hide that. And they exaggerate what the Americans do because most of Iranian assets are underground.
Uh-huh.
They don't strike anything. I mean, they've been bombing Iran day and night for 40 days and getting nowhere. Do you think that the Iranians are like they say they bombed?
We killed the Ayatollah. We didn't get nowhere.
Drone depots. Iran doesn't have depots lying around on the ground.
No, they have in caves, and they are underground. 100%, they are underground. But the more you have to bring out and use and get destroyed, the less capacity you have. And we're going to drain you. We're going to drain you.
Americans are actually more vulnerable. Because
if you think America's not actually preparing for the next phase right now, you're insane. And so is Iran, but Iran can't do it as much as America can.
There are no underground bases in the Persian Gulf, on the other side of the Persian Gulf. There are no underground bases in Jordan or in Israel. So when Iran fires missiles and strikes targets, the damage is much greater because the assets are all out in the open. But the Americans use...
He does understand that Iran has mountains on mountains on mountains on mountains. You have it's a different territory. You have better access to digging underground the same Hezbollah did the same thing in southern Lebanon.
52 bombers to bomb drone and missile cities, and yet the drones and missiles keep being launched. So the Iranians and the Republic of Iran is not a regime, as they love to call it. They would say, yes, regime. This is a rally around the flag effect.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Were these funerals a rally around the flag effect?
Yes.
the tens of millions of people who came to the streets, that's a rally around the flag effect. It's much, 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 much deeper than that.
I would agree with you. These are the religious fanatics that when America invades these areas, we're going to have to deal with. And the sad part is the only answer to this is to kill those tens of millions of people. There is no other way. You're not going to de-brainwash them.
It shows the extraordinary high degree of legitimacy that the Islamic Republic has in the eyes of the people and the depth of that legitimacy.
Sure.
And this is unique. The West doesn't have that sort of legitimacy.
Let's see, the U.S.
Whether they like it or not.
This sort of communications between Iran and the United States, because these attacks, they said yesterday again that Iran, it was a malfunction on the part of Iran, said that we are not that much, we didn't want to do that, it was some sort of problem on our side. Then they said that Iran is backing down.
I love how he's nervously laughing in the concept that, yeah, Iran's power structure is fractured. The one side is not talking to the other side, and they all hate each other.
I mean, said Iran is begging to talk again, and what is that? What is the reality of that?
It just shows how complicit Western media is, how pathetic Western media is.
Totally.
That they are looking for some way to show the United States is strong and Iran is weak. It doesn't matter if they're opposed to Trump or supportive of Trump. It's that the establishment media is utterly corrupted. They're owned by the oligarchs. They're owned by the Epstein class. They're owned by the
Epstein class, owned by the Jews, the Zionist class.
It was terrible before.
So again, we own the media. So that's normal crap. Loses. Well, let's go a loss. Let's go here.
Better. But Trump is unable to do the right thing.
This might be interesting.
They won't let him do the right thing, or his own ego. And
what is the situation? Because one of the main concerns right now in the United States are talking about sending inspectors in Iran and visiting those the nuclear facilities in Iran. What do we know about that?
The Iranians won't allow the International Atomic Energy Agency to inspect those sites. It's a compromise organization.
Well, that's the end of you guys, you idiots.
And there's evidence from Israeli regime sources that it is deeply compromised, and the Israeli regime, which is not even a member, has enormous influence over the body. So they're not going to return.
Again, Israel controls everything.
To those sites. Again, people should not get two things confused. They may send inspectors to Tehran, to the Tehran reactor, or Bushehr, the Bushehr reactor. Iran has no problem with that.
I'm sure you guys don't. That's not where you guys are hiding your stuff.
Since in Bushehr, the Russians are working there too, and they have obligation.
Yeah, that's your legitimate front, just like the mafia does. That's your legitimate front to your secret nuclear program.
Those sites are there. So if tomorrow someone sees that the IAEA has sent someone to Bushehr, no one should go, oh, Iran has given concessions. No, Iran has given zero concessions. That has nothing to do with the sites that were bombed. Iran will not allow any of those sites to be monitored by the IAEA. It's just not going to happen.
Oh, good luck.
That has to be a final deal. And until all Iran's preconditions are
they act like they won this war.
Met.
Yeah, all your preconditions are met. Yeah.
Lebanon, assets,
Hamas,
sanctions, and so on and so forth.
Houthis, everything. You guys want everything.
That's not going to happen.
Fees on the Straits of Hormuz.
Remember, a number of resolutions in the UN Security Council were passed against Iran in years past. And back then, China and Russia were weaker than now.
Great, let's go to Russia and China.
Continues. And also Iran will deal with the Palestinian issue as it always has. It will continue to support them, and it will also put pressure on the United States when it comes to Gaza.
Good luck.
But right now we have very fundamental issues to deal with right now, and that is the violation.
So we're not going to help the Palestinians right now.
Of every aspect of the deal, except for the siege. And as I said, many people are saying, well, look, Iran is showing weakness. No, it isn't. Iran is making the Strait of Hormuz smaller. The more the Americans violate the deal, in Persian, tangeh, that would be more of a tangeh tangtar میشه. So,
Yeah.
narrow. Yeah, the narrow, because it's tangeh, like the narrow, it will become more narrow. So the more the Americans violate the deal, the more narrow the strait becomes.
For you guys, you're not getting any tankers out right now.
Yeah.
And they blew up your railroad that was connected to Pakistan and in the north. And the railroad bridges, you're not getting any oil into Pakistan now.
Professor Marandi, there is a report, a joint investigation by Der Spiegel, The Insider, and Le Monde. And they're talking about an extensive secret military cooperation between Russia and China, including discussions on countering Western weapons, disrupting Starlink, which was part of the operation against Iran. And
you mean Starlink, the thing that was allowing people to freely, openly have free speech? Yeah, of course, those governments definitely want to censor that.
Training Russian drone operators and jointly developing advanced missile defense systems. And they call this the new axis of evil.
This is known for a while now. Russia, Iran, China, North Korea are the new axis of evil.
The old axis of evil. You are the old axis of evil, and we have the new axis of evil. How do you feel about the new axis of evil?
I think that's unfair. I mean, we were evil first, and we will remain at the top of the chart.
Ain't that the truth?
No one can replace us.
Ain't that the truth?
We are the axis of evil.
Yep, not resistance.
And
evil.
Whatever they want to do, they come after us. But these people, they are the ones who are supporting.
I don't know. You said it your best, so I'm actually going to stop it there. And I wanted to crash in on Argentina really giving it to Hamza Sada, whatever his name. I know he's an anti-Israel influencer, and let's watch him get upset that Argentina, I think, beat Jordan. Yep, so Argentina's doing great to the point that even Israel has become basically like a little Buenos Aires. So Israel's a big backer of Argentina, as you can see. We have Argentinian citizens in Israel, a lot of them. And this was Egypt's coach.
Egypt's
this is a lot of controversy
suddenly
about
lose
this.
his temper and make a crossed arms gesture right in front of Lionel Messi. The heated drama erupted before the post-match press conference had even begun. Fighting back tears, Hossam Hassan openly spoke about what he described as the darker side of the World Cup.
The Jews. And by the way, he's just a sore loser.
This is all about money. They want Messi to stay in this tournament. He even posted a photo.
You guys gave away 3 goals in 15 minutes. I'm sorry, that's your fault. There's no rigged system.
On his official social media account with the caption, "The world is watching." A bold message directed at FIFA. The tension reportedly began after Argentina scored their 3rd goal.
Look at
As
that.
The Argentine players
Wow, that was rigged. Look at that. That was totally rigged.
walked toward Egypt's bench. Hossam Hassan repeatedly crossed his arms, signaling what he said was a call for the anti-racism protocol to be
who's playing the victim now?
activated. However, instead of receiving the response he was hoping for or seeing the match stopped, The referee quickly showed him a yellow card.
Good.
Why did Egypt's head coach suddenly...
Because he was acting like a little B word. And this is at the end of the game. They really wanted to piss him off. These are not Israelis, Argentinian, this is confirmed, Argentinian fans waving the Israeli flag at the Egyptian coach after the game. And he's spitting at them. Oh, no. Cry, little baby, cry. Yeah, because you're making a false claim, just like the Arabs and Muslims always make false claims against Israel. You were making a false claim. There was no racism being made at all. Just you were losing. Of course you did. So let's watch more of him getting upset, because it's great stuff. This is them waving the flag. This is him getting upset. And then he picks a fight with the photographer for no reason. Just an aggressive Arab picking a fight. Because he's upset that he lost. Oh, boo-hoo. Boo. And then he comes back again for another one. Yep. And more of this coach. Look at him. There's the Israeli flags. Take it. Take it, you schmuck. Yep, you're I'm sure he's anti-Semitic. Yeah, well, he was doing this before the game and was waving the flag, the Palestinian flag before him.
Permitted. Palestine solidarity just took center stage at the World Cup again. Ahead of
This is how it
Egypt's round
started.
of 16 clash with Argentina, Coach Hassam Hassan was mid-press conference when he stopped talking about football entirely.
إذا وجد فرد في العالم ما حسش.
Yeah, Egypt has so much empathy for the Palestinians. They never let them out during the war as refugees. They charged them $10,000 to get out, and their border fence, look it up now, their border fence looks 3 times more, there's 3 levels to it, more than the Israeli fence on Gaza.
بالشعب الفلسطيني فما بقاش بني آدم. ما بقاش بني آدم.
It's the second time in a week.
And then this is him waving the flag at the beginning of the game.
Flag after Egypt's dramatic penalty shootout win over Australia. Fans in the stadium started.
This was at the end of the game. This was when Egypt beat Australia. Now I understand.
The flag clip went viral instantly. Some Israeli media outlets criticized the gesture, saying it brought politics into football, and describing it as provocative. FIFA then issued a statement
shouldn't be
saying
allowed.
displaying the Palestinian flag is permitted at the tournament
See?
the Palestine Football Association
But Israel controls FIFA.
is a recognized FIFA member. Hassam
Yeah, but so is Israel, and they tore down their flag. So let's that's how it began, with him waving the Palestinian flag, and this is how it ended, with him seeing the Israeli flag being waved in his face, right at the end of the game where they lose and get kicked out of the World Cup entirely. Go home to Egypt. Then tries again, picks a fight with the photographer for no apparent reason. Guy wasn't saying anything to him. And then this woman taps him on the shoulder and he gets pissed again. He's mad again. Yep. Unbelievable. And these people weren't even saying anything to him, and he was looking up at them and screaming at them. So, go Argentina. Go Argentina. I hope they win the whole thing. And thanks for crashing in with me on that and crashing out with Seyed, Marandi, and his Nina and his little group of lackeys out there. And their interpretation of what's going on right now in the Middle East. And if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe and comment. Even if you disagree with me, I always try to reply to all comments, because I think that having a conversation is the best way to peace and understanding. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.